One of the ways that I've been able to consistently improve my health and wellness over the last 18 years from when I first stepped into a gym, there's a concept called micro habits. Now, a micro habit is not glorious, it's not a huge, audacious habit, right? It is the opposite. Happy baby. With a micro habit, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your big goal down, like whatever it is that you actually want to achieve. If you want to be the kind of person that works out because you want to get healthier, with the micro habit, what you're going to do is you're going to make it unreasonable for you to not complete the habit. You need to break it down to the smallest possible thing you can think of. For working out, as an example, break it down to doing 2 push-ups or 2 sit-ups. Just something that's gonna take almost no time. You could literally do it in bed. What that's gonna do is it's gonna help you keep the momentum you're building. One of the biggest problems I see is people will start a new workout plan and they'll go really strong for a few weeks and then they fall off, because most people have developed this all or nothing mentality. When they fall off, all hope's lost. Now, I like to tell people that if you were to not brush your teeth on Friday night, you're not just gonna not brush your teeth all weekend because you forgot to on Friday. You're probably just gonna brush them Saturday morning and then just carry on. Even though logically that makes sense, that if you missed a day at the gym when you were supposed to go, you should just pick it back up the next day. A lot of people fall off because then they're not in their perfect workout routine. But with micro habits, we get to keep that consistency, because what we're gonna do is if you do 2 push-ups, I want you to put an X on your calendar, letting you know that you've successfully done the minimum you needed to for that habit. Consistently putting these X's on your calendar is something that Jerry Seinfeld used to do. He'd write a joke and then he'd put an X on the calendar, and then if he wrote a joke the next day, he'd put another X on the calendar. And his only goal is to keep the chain of X's growing. By writing tons of jokes, he ended up getting better at writing jokes. Well, with the minimum of doing 2 push-ups a day, you can do more. But if you're able to get those 2 push-ups, you're able to make that X on your calendar, and you're gonna create the consistency. When we want something to stick, it has to become a part of our identity. And when you consistently do something long enough, you have a subconscious shift and you have an identity change. So even though it's simply a 2-minute workout, it's 2 push-ups. By doing those 2 push-ups, you're changing your identity, which is gonna make it far easier for you to stick with those habits later. Now, these same principles can be applied to other areas, right? So for nutrition, you can make it as simple as drinking 1 liter of water a day. That's a great place to start. Most people aren't getting enough water. If you happen to be getting enough water, you can start with, hey, make sure you get a serving of protein at breakfast every day. That's your one focus. Successfully do that until it doesn't feel like something you're consciously trying to do. And then you snowball the next habit onto it. If you want to read, set a micro habit of reading 2 pages a day. If you happen to find more time, great. If you don't have more time, that's okay. You read your 2 pages. You will eventually make your way through any book. Competence creates confidence. So when you start with micro habits, you're creating self-confidence because you're proving to yourself that you can do the things you're setting out to do. Andy Frisella talks about that in his 75 Hard Challenge, and that was the most impactful lesson that I learned from doing that challenge. But you don't have to do it to take advantage of micro habits.
Say bye-bye.